Over 250 youth leaders converged at the Ramada Belize City Princess for the 5th World Youth Conference by the International Youth Committee, which is headquartered in India. The conference sets the tone for what needs to be done for and by young people from the various regions and countries represented at the meeting. Day 1 focuses specifically on the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, their achievements so far, and shortfalls. Belize's former CARICOM Youth Ambassador Taryn Butcher, who lobbied and won the bid for the conference to be held in Belize, says that the youth are also challenging the SDGs as they currently stand.
What we're doing today is something that we have done in the past as well. In 2014 in Colombo, Sri Lanka, we challenged the Millennium Development Goals. We challenged the ministers of youth and youth development and directors of youth that were present, and there were a lot present in Colombo, Sri Lanka. It was a momentous occasion moving towards 2015 and the that post agenda would become the 2030 agenda. And we challenged them, well, really, what have we accomplished? Because there's still gender inequalities. Climate change is still very real and it's still a problem. We still have millions of people living in poverty, without food, without safety. There's no peace and security. What have we done? And today, over the course of this week, we will be challenging the SDGs, seeing what's in place, what are the conventions that we've signed on to. Do they really make sense? What aren't we doing enough of? And why aren't they working? And as well as identifying what does work. But really, we want to focus on how we, the youth, can make it work where it's not.
At the end of the conference, the Mahogany Declaration will be signed, which is a global agenda for participants to take back to their respective countries as a guideline for what must be put in place to address various issues, including and not limited to economic development, healthcare, and climate change. Dr. K.K. Singh says that a common solution to global challenges must incorporate the youth.
Our younger generation, basically, they have the capacity, they have the patience, they have the power of compassion also to deal various issues. And they are the most dynamic form of human being where one can address the issues to bring a solution. So if we hand over the task to the young people so that we can move faster with a guarantee to solve the global issue.
According to Chairman of the ICC, Dr. Singh, unemployment is a common challenge across all countries. Skills development and investments in the youth can improve this condition. This, as well as climate change and education, are areas of interest to Haiti's Sharpton Toussaint.
I'm from Haiti, so it's one of the countries that most affected by the climate change in those last years. So I think that coming here will help me to understand more the SDGs and to improve my knowledge about the climate change, education. A part of the hurricane, the earthquakes, my country have a lot of issue with inequality. So we have a certain inequality between the different type of people, like the rich one. Yeah, exactly. So and also we have a problem with education. So we have more like 40% of the population don't know how to even write their name.
United Kingdom and Haiti differ vastly in many ways, but as Nazi Amin explains, inequality is remarkably similar. The accountability advocate goes to universities and schools to speak about the SDGs and the issues of gender inequality. Aside from empowering young people to become leaders, she says that it is about letting people know what the SDGs are.
Generically, with the Sustainable Development Goals, I feel like there's a lack of kind of information about them for young people on the ground. So the SDGs are supposed to be for everybody, and the agenda is to leave no one behind. But the biggest issue is we are probably leaving those people behind, or those youth behind, who have always been left behind because they don't understand the SDGs.
Closer to home, our Central American sister country, Panama, wants to network with colleagues to solve issues of climate change and corruption in government.
For my country, I believe difference two areas. I believe the first one about the climate change, because for this time we are seeing that in the world we have a lot of changes in the weather. And this affected just not my country, a lot of countries. For example, more raining and also more hot. And also the last one, the last theme about the government and development, because well, in other countries we have corruption, we have sometimes bad governments, but we need make a change. We need always make a change and make different things to solve it, because, well, we have a lot of years fighting with this situation.
Duane Moody for News 5.